league gets 2,000. You had Devontae Smith. You guys went down here, got A.J. Brown. Turned out to be a great trade for you. Terrible for Tennessee. But you had that influx, that depth that they're building. And nothing against Jalen Hurts, but he wasn't the one overall. He wasn't a John Elway generational type of guy. You look at Sirianni, he's not. I don't know if you're ever going to get him mixed up with Bill Parcells. Do you see other what's your thoughts on that approach? Have you noticed that's their approach? Or is this they're just really good front office and I'm overthinking it?
Well, listen, it takes everybody. It takes everybody. When it comes to Howie Roseman, obviously he has been a student of this game from the very beginning. I'm hearing stories now on how he would have like a whole draft kit and sit down and watch a draft. And he was a big Jets fan. And he was actually doing the draft as if he was the GM for the Jets.
And in the 90s.
In the 90s when he was in college. So this is something that he's always kind of wanted to do. Yeah. And he's been amazing at it. And I'll tell you, I'm a firm believer on there's a certain way that you have to draft players, and in the first round, you do a couple of things very specifically. They don't make many big men that are good at what they do.
Right.
So obviously he got very lucky when he chose Jordan Mailata in the 7th round.
Wow.
And just grabbed him and did that. That was his 7th round. And I think it was in 2017, or maybe 2018. I'm sorry. It was 2018 because I remember him being a pick.
And he's a starting left tackle. God.
And maybe one of the best in the league.
Yeah.
If not the best, arguably the best in the league. And he didn't know how to play football. He literally was taught for the first 3 years how to play football.
Man.
And then he solidified the offensive and defensive lines. That was his first goal.
Yeah.
I'm a firm believer. You only get in the first round, you get big men for the trenches.
Yeah.
Cornerbacks or quarterbacks. That's it. Getting a wide receiver is not really on my agenda.
Okay.
If I was a GM.
So you were taken back by the Devontae Smith draft pick?
I wasn't. I knew that we needed him. We had a really good line, and everybody was still pretty good. And at that time, we had Fletcher Cox still on the line. We had Brandon Graham. We didn't really need anybody on the offensive or defensive line because they were pretty strong. When they got Devonta Smith, they got him so that the Giants wouldn't get him.
Okay.
When they got A.J. Brown, they traded for that, but they also got their offensive lineman.
Gotcha.
Again, same situation this year. They needed to go cornerback, and they wound up getting the 2 best cornerbacks in the draft.
Yes. I talked about that with the Mad New York. I couldn't believe they got Dijon and Quentin Mitchell. They're very good, but do you see other teams taking that approach where, and obviously you got to have your owner behind you, where we're going to just stack this roster, I think they're the most aggressive team in the league, if you ask me.
They are. I feel like that, Saquon Barkley was something that fell into their laps. That was a unique situation. It helped that they had the cap space to be able to sign him.
Yeah.
When I think of other teams that do exactly what we're talking about here, I think of the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Chiefs' offensive line and defensive line are stacked.
That's true.
Now, Andy Reid doesn't put as much stock in the wide receiver.
Yeah.
Now, he had to a little bit. He's got Xavier. He's got DeAndre Hopkins
from here, yeah.
You know what I mean? They've had good receivers, but you saw last year when they didn't have those good receivers, he was lucky to kind of make it happen the way that he did. So I mean, he obviously needs all of the pieces to be